Well, hey there, neighbors. How's everybody doing? I hope you guys are doing well. I'm really excited because, one, we haven't done the opening since I think my first video, and I had wanted to do the full opening, but I couldn't because I didn't know how to edit, and it's not like I'm like supreme editing or anything, but at least I know how to like do jump cuts and stuff, so I'm really excited because I get to do the full opening, and I'm also really excited because I'm finally going to show you guys something that I've been working on for a while. Unfortunately, because my hands, things take me a lot longer. And I'm finally going to share it with you guys, and I'm also going to introduce a new series. It's called Joy's Corner, and I think you guys are really gonna like it. I don't know how else to say it except that, like, what's up, kitten? What are you doing? I'm sorry, I got kitten time. Hector is raring to go. But anyway, I don't want to ruin the surprise. So, but, I also wanted to apologize for the way I look. I've been up all night, working because I finally finished working like this morning at 5:15, but I had to be up at I had to be up at 7. So like as you guys know, I'm so much better with staying up like than what do you want, mister? Also, I don't know what's going on, but first I started to get these things on my eyes, right? And they don't really hurt or anything. And then I looked and I'm starting to get, so I'm gonna email my dermatologist after I finish this, because I'm like, what the fudge is going on? Like, you know, like, why, you know, I mean, I don't get it, but, and I don't really like it, and I don't understand, like, why I break out into these rashes and stuff. It's freaking horrible. But, oh, you are just such a doll. You're such a little bear, my big bear. They're like really close in weight. Like he's 15.5 and George is 15. I'm like, oh my god, my chunkamunks, like, you know, right? So, anyway, this is going to be a very exciting day for y'all. Well, hello. Hello again. It's very exciting because I actually get to make sure that my computer stays on. Tonight I have something a little different for you children. As you can see, this is my corner of joy. And I think I might actually get up and show you guys just what I'm talking about. Joyless. So, what I'm really excited about is that I get to go full on Mr. Rogers. But, You know how crazy I am. I am a crazy, crazy cat lady. Well, I don't know. I hope not. I could be. I could be, but I'm really gonna hope that I'm not. So tonight I have something a little different for y'all children. As you can see, this is my corner of joy. Like I said, and I don't think I can get this thing on. And I made it basically because I'm in withdrawal without her. Like, I have the DTs. Without YouTube Sweetheart, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But seriously, super seriously, we are going to have a very special story time tonight. Why is my... It's because I said it. I set it to lock like every 30 seconds. And it's not going to be like a regular YouTuber story time. Like, I actually went so far as to make a children's book. I did. Because y'all know how I do. No, seriously, I'm totally just kidding. I'm not hubristic like YouTube's darling over here. Isn't she great? And notice that I'm repping the negative nation. What's that? Around the border. So, here's the deal. I can't, like, draw, like, for ish, okay? My drawing sucks. Like, I mean, we're talking, like, I'm horrible, like, stick figures. I mean, seriously, bro, like, they look like a 7-year-old drew them, and that's probably being generous, but nonetheless, I hope you like it. I must admit, with everything, I really did put a lot of work into this, but it was super fun, especially, like, writing the book. Although I totally would have been cool with an illustrator. Hashtag call me. Again, seriously, just kidding. Like, I've been up for so long, so I'm in one of those moods. So, enough talk. Let's travel to a world where the rules apply to all but one, and nothing makes sense, while we delve into Once Upon a Time in Fibromia. I really hope you guys like it. It's pink. And this is the cover. Okay. Now, when we start with the book, we should start with the map of Utopia. Now, it has a legend, like a key. I really went to town on this thing. It's pretty intense. So I'm gonna do my best to read and show the illustrations, but I may have to read and show afterwards. Okay, children. Once upon a time, there lived a very wicked, insipid, vengeful, and domineering queen who ruled over the small land of Fibromia, nestled against the east coast in the strange country of Utopia. Initially, she was elected because, okay, so there weren't any other opponents. But, like, initially, she seemed kind and made people want to get to know her and who she was because she seemed so genuine and endearing. But the townspeople soon learned they'd been deceived, and all of Joy's kindness was just a ruse, a mask. Soon more and more began to see the truth. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Initially, she gained the hearts of peasants when she began attacking one of the more popular nobles every which way she could because he was greatly hated for the way he treated his serfs. But she knew he'd amassed quite the reputation and knew this noble was the perfect target to attack, while simultaneously assembling a massive stand army. And my, did this abhorrent queen amass quite the army of extraordinarily mentally ill-equipped citizens of Fibromia. Now, here we have Our Lady of the Infused Couch of Frito-Lay. And citizens going crazy. That, combined with the fact that the queen literally bought the peasants off, made the queen feel omnipotent, and she delusionally felt she was equipped with abilities to help everyone regarding any topic, despite having absolutely zero training in anything. Like, dude, she even had the balls to insert herself into a freaking custody battle. A custody battle! Like, and while she may have been queen, there was nothing she could have done for the case except mess it up, which she almost did. Now, here is just a basic illustration of our queen. And you can see here the custody case. It's just a prank, bruh. And then now happiness in the case. The queen has even been holding a man captive in her dungeon, whom the Fibromians have been referring to as roommate. For months, the peasants had been wondering if he was still alive, but it was confirmed roommate did in fact exist. And while the peasants were uncertain of his condition, at least they had proof of life. Late one night, a lowly peasant called H.C. attempted to break roommate out. However, the mission was thwarted by the paperboy, suspected to be one of the queen's minions. Now, over here we have roommate locked in a cage, and we have the paperboy foiling the plan. And here we have the Crimson Avenger, even Veritas. Well, Veritas actually annoys me when people say the V, but moving on. Y'all remember the paperboy incident, right? Oh my god, that was so embarrassing. Luckily, HC was able to escape the paperboy, but quickly became one of the Queen's most hated people in the land, and would soon be on the chopping block. The Queen loathes her, and yet she talks about her incessantly. One very odd thing about the Queen is, while she'll state she doesn't care about someone, HC, for example, or Repsion, he goes by Lord Zion in Fibromia. She sure as hell mentions these people a lot, much like she's done with Lord Onion. One day, Lord Zion stood on the soapbox for a fortnight in the town square, exposing the Queen's lies. And while the Queen cares not for any of the three aforementioned citizens, she rants about them virtually non-stop. Now, here we have a picture of the Queen, myself, and I think one of her stands. I'm not really sure. And over here, we have a divided community since someone came back. You know who you are. Well, I'll just make that. No, I'm just kidding. The Queen decided she'd take no more, and there would be no more Nice Joy. The self-proclaimed sweetheart of Utopia ruled the land with an iron fist, whilst the peasants shuddered in terror. The Queen kept saying she was going to abdicate, but in reality, she'd only be gone for like 2 to 5 days for health reasons, just to come back again and again and again and again. And she kept holding court in other areas. Okay, so she really actually just never left. Peasants were starving. Bodies were beginning to line the streets of Fibromia. However, the smoke from the castle kitchen's chimney never once stopped burning. And as you can see here, our Queen is letting you know she's gonna be vindicated. So, unfortunately, this is a bit of a sad page because all the dead bodies. Oh no, we have one person alive. Good stuff, good stuff. The evil Queen was so desperate to become relevant, and because she was neither creative nor intelligent enough to be able to discuss any of the town's issues herself, she knew the only way to get attention was to create drama and stir the pot. And stir the pot she did. So much so that she couldn't even take the heat in the kitchen she created. The Queen ran away from Utopia, while simultaneously giving other excuses like she was harassed, swatted, and ran off Utopia, amongst others. Essentially, the reason depended on who she was talking to. And just when the Queen needed to manipulate, that's the only time. At the end of the Queen's exile, she swore she'd never be seen in YouTube again. Now here we see the apocalypse. And this is our Queen. I want the relevance aesthetic. I must become a YouTubian star. And we all know how true that is. However, as with everything, okay, mostly everything, if we're playing semantics, I mean, like, if you really want to be a douchebag about it. But, much like everything the Queen has said, this too was yet one more untruth. And with no one else left, she tried to gain attention from other popular lords who live on the right side of Utopia. And while this worked for a while, eventually they too were done with the Queen. She says she doesn't rule the town, yet she's constantly making announcements. Seriously, like, think of Jonestown and the loudspeaker, and there's so many correlations between the Queen and Jim Jones. And that's all I'm saying, children. This is my Jim Jones. And, our Queen telling us she's going to make 10 vids a day and stream for 3 to 5 hours. I have boundless energy, but I'm in intractable pain. All must bow to me. I have ascended to God level. She has. She also holds super secret meetings, uses coded language with her stands, constantly uses vile language, and acts uncouth. And she's still refusing to leave Utopia. Meanwhile, her hashtag Stan Army frosts at the mouth, waiting for instructions with bated breath. Seriously, like, kind of think like Warren Jackson, how he still rules the FLDS from prison. Same thing. Like her instructions, the Queen's presence is heavy and looming. Let's just say the peasants are screwed in a very uncomfortable place. Like the back seat of a Volkswagen Jetta. But does the Queen care? Here we have a very special picture of the Queen and two of her closest friends. I'm sure you can figure out who they are. And here, she has an idea. Oh, let's see what brilliance she comes up with. This should be good. Did she help? No. Unfortunately, the Queen only cares for herself. However, I mean, what did you really expect? Did you honestly expect anything else from a psycho hose beast from hell? Played. I know fairy tales are supposed to have happy endings, and I wish this one did too. But unfortunately, there's no happy ending to be had, as the Queen is just like that yellow dye in Twinkies that will never be destroyed no matter what you do to it. Here we have our irate Queen and our Twinkie Queen. Not saying she's a Twinkie Queen, but, you know, like cockroaches, Twinkie, dye, you know, they never go away. It's kind of like joy. Since the takeover, the peasants' taxes have increased, as has security. However, the Queen's first lieutenant, quit, and no reason hath been given as of yet. Now you must present your legal identification and birth certificate to even have a face-to-face with the guards at the main gate. Since the takeover, many peasants have lost their farms, while others have lost their lives fighting the good fight. However, still, some peasants remain steadfast and hopeful. Bless their sweet and naive little hearts. Here we have an example of a Fibromian driver's license, and this is a representation of the Queen's greed. It is too early to tell the fate of the Fibromian citizens, and it is yet to be seen if Fibromian War II, FW2 as the youngins are calling it, will break out. However, should the fated event occur, both sides have been gathering resources and materials, troops, and because the Queen is always starting wars with anyone, even ones who just like posting in the town forum or agree with a post, everyone is now on guard. So I would like to show you my, I call it Joitler. And here we have the town hall, and they're having super seriously important meetings about my mashed taters, guys. Because the Queen is evil incarnate and cannot bear to see anyone else succeed or even taste a moment of happiness, she destroys any happiness she comes across that isn't hers. Children's, the moral here being, if you hate yourself, you'll not only hate others and their successes, but also, children, you'll never be happy yourself. Because of the Queen's immature, obnoxious, evil, manipulative, guileful, abusive, and hateful nature, notwithstanding her unadulterated level of jealousy, the citizens have vowed to be prepared for anything. For a decent amount of time, the peasants lived happily ever after, until there came back to them the one who always destroys happiness. And we've got a drawing of the Queen coming back, and the town is in flames. I even made a dedication. This book is dedicated to my dad, my mom, my best friend Brian, David, my good friend Donna, and all of my neighbors. All of you have always been there for me, and I appreciate you all. Y'all. Lastly, I want to dedicate this book to my two boys, Hector and G-Dubs, and of course, I can't forget Joy Sparkle BS, because without you, this book never would have been possible. So, thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys had a good time. I really had fun writing it and, illustrating it. Even though I, draw like a 2-year-old. But, let me know what you think in the comments. I really love to know your opinion. One thing, oh God, I hope he's not pooping. One thing I love, I can't say I really love anything in the book other than the map. I do like the map because I definitely went all out. I mean, like, we're talking a key. I mean, this is just, yeah, it's crazy. So, let me know in the comments, and I'm hoping to start uploading more, and I will explain where I was and everything in another video. I just didn't think, oh, good, you kept the poopancy inside, you just peed. Good stuff, Hector. I just didn't think it was apropos for this video because we had so much fun with Once Upon a Time in Fibromia. So again, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe and just lightly press that notification bell. Just tap it, you know what I mean? Same thing with the subscribe button. And if you're not new and you're already a neighbor, well, then this book was dedicated. You were one of the people this book was dedicated to, so thank you for being here for me and for actually wanting to hear what I have to say. That's nuts. Again, thank you for listening. Fibromia rocks. I'd love to hear your opinions, and don't y'all forget to open your box of joy.